Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible, everyone? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Salma. Let me share my screen. All right. So, yeah, so last class was CS4. So, we actually completed the HTML tag. We have seen few tags on HTML5 and HTML forms. So, that was the single table we have completed. All this, we've seen this with the example. And few HTML elements also we have seen actually, like figure caption, and there was this also video we have seen, video, audio, iframe also we done one example, HTML forms, okay. Uh, and we have also seen this input elements. So we were actually supposed to start from HTML5. Yeah, this was so from CS4. This was the pending thing. Okay, so these are the few HTML. We already done few HTML element like video, audio, okay, figure caption, figure, and so on. Uh, Now we're gonna see the list of few HTML elements and their attributes. Okay. So, but before that, we need to understand the uh, difference between. Hold on, just one. Trying to navigate to a particular, yeah. So difference between HTML and HTML5. Okay, so that we'll first explore before actually I go and talk about this tag and their few attributes. Okay. So in HTML section, two things we're gonna do today. One is new HTML5, new tag in HTML5, and also attributes which are there. Yeah. So let's first see the difference here. So HTML, and this is a few difference in the HTML5 and HTML. I'll just read it out. So HTML didn't support audio and video without the use of Flash player support. So if you want to use audio video, you have to do more, coding over there. I mean, so you have to also write a JavaScript code. But here it is possible in HTML. Just help of the audio and video tag. Okay, so HTML it uses cookies to store temporary data, but in case of HTML5, there's a SQL. You can actually store a data offline in local storage. So that facility is also there, kind of a database you can say. Okay, HTML does not allow JavaScript to run in the browser, but HTML5 allows JavaScript to run in the background. This is possible due to JS Web Worker API in HTML5. Okay, so there's a JS Worker Web API. You can add extensive JavaScript coding over there. We will see this difference when we actually do the JavaScript, and then I'll show you how it is. So there vector graphics are possible in HTML with the help of various technologies such as VML, Silverlight, Flash, etc. But in case of all this vector graphic are possible just help of one tag and help of the SVG and the canvas concept. So that's the one thing. HTML does not allow drag and drop effect in any HTML tag. It is not possible. Whereas in HTML5, yeah, there are in SVG area, if you can create an element, you can drag and drop that. So it allows that effects. Okay. In HTML, not possible to draw a shape like circle, rectangle, etc. You can draw. You need to write an extensive JavaScript coding, and also cascading style sheet. But in case of HTML5, allow to draw very easily actually. Okay, so that's all. HTML, when we talk about the browser, it works with all old browser, and HTML5 supports all new browser like Firefox, Mozilla, Chrome, Safari, and it's a smart browser actually. They at the max allow running your code, even though the syntax is not followed properly. In the sense, wherever it is supported. Okay. So in case of HTML body head tags are mandatory while writing HTML code. I mean the previous version of HTML. In HTML5, this tags can be omitted while writing the HTML code actually. And in fact, most of the browser, nowadays now all browser, they support only HTML5. Basically, they apply the syntax of HTML5 only, to whenever they are running the code. And you might have seen that, we have removed everything and we were just running a tag. Then also it was working. Okay. I think I did that experiment in first session itself. Sorry, in the third session when we started HTML. Again, one of the major, drawback was in HTML that it was less supported on the mobile, devices, and that's where HTML5 is more friendly. Okay. Uh, doc type declaration is too long and complicated, and doc type declaration is quite simple and easy. We'll see this also during XML, so I'm not talking this. Elements like NAV header were not present in HTML5. We have, like header, footer. Those elements are also NAV is called as a navigation where, and again, in that NAV you can put set of href. Like in figure we can put a set of image. Similarly, in NAV is called as navigation. We can put set of hyperlinks. So that is also there. Header, footer also you can create. Okay, so I'm not going ahead with others. Let's just quickly, okay, so one thing important is that okay, so being an older version, it is not fast, flexible, efficient is compared to HTML5, and HTML5 are flexible, more fast in comparison to HTML. Okay, that way. And remember, I was just talking that since we are not following the proper syntax, then also on our browser those code we are running is because the capability of this HTML5 and the browser capability. So it is capable of handling inaccurate syntax also. So it supports given towards more user side. There are one more difference is that HTML was not supporting any geolocation or like that. If you want to do that, I mean your location, tracking of a location. So wherever user is has logged in from a, let's say, in particular location, that can be tracked very easily using geolocation of JS location API. It's actually totally a revolution, honestly. Okay. Few tags have been changed and so on. So like applet tag change to object, acronym change to ABR, DIR tag change to UL. So there's a UL, okay. Frame set has been removed. Frame have been removed. They have iframe over there. Instead of frame, it is iframe. And we have seen those demo also. We've done it. No frame has been removed. The strike new tag CSS used for this. For big also, I mean, there's no new tag CSS used for this. Best font and other TT. Okay. I'll close it. And what I'm going to do that, since uh, I'm going to run this tag, with help of the example here. So these are the, list of the input. We're already seen like color, date, time, email, month, number. Okay. So let's see in this demo. Then there's a ready-made tag called input equal to color. Okay. That's a fantastic thing. You can directly basically, specify type equal to color. So in input type, just mention equal to color and this to identify your color. Okay. This way. Let me first see, what yours HTML5. I'm just looking at that particular file. Yeah. So I'll run it. I'll show you. So I'm opening this with a browser. See, earlier, if you want to achieve this, that was done using a, coding. Okay. So you have to write a JavaScript code to, in fact, implement this functionality. See here, this color picker has been generated. And similarly, you can specify, red, green, and blue numbers. So that can be, it has 256. So all green. So, and then let's say if I say 50 and then 30, like this. You can also, use an HSL format or there's a hexa format is also there. It's up to you. And these are all possible with help of simple, input, which is this one. And look at here, input type equal to color. This is a syntax being run over here. And here, see, I am not writing anything, HTML head tag or like that because browser actually treat everything in HTML5. Okay. Few things needs to be taken care of is that just follow the right syntax. So if I remove the color, see what happens. I'll go there and try it. See, it is actually gone. Okay, so because of the incorrect syntax. Okay. So all right, let's just go to the next. So very easily action. Oh, sorry, not this. My apology. Then we have, date tag is there. Very easy actually, So input type equal to date used for input field that should contain a date actually. Okay. And depending on the browser support, a date picker can show up in the input field. So whichever browser are mostly or most of the, famous browser are providing support to this tags. Okay. So you have to just write date instead of, color. Yeah. So that is one. Similarly, we also have, we can also put a in date, like let's say maximum, like user can't select. So these are the, attribute being provided. So input type equal to like, text, we have input type equal to date. This is birthday means we are referring this particular element on the web page. And max, so there is a max attribute. What it does, you can't go beyond this particular date. Okay. So that is how it is. And you can also have a mean attribute. So you can't go beyond, I mean, not select, uh, below this. There's a date time local also. What it does, it specifies date and time input field. I mean, both, date along with the time. And this is the syntax. Date time hyphen local. Okay. And birthday. So let me go and, share that. I'll open this example. And also, let me open the code. Open with Notepad. And this is the code. Okay, I had not formatted it, honestly. Yeah, this is the code we are referring. So first line, this one input type equal to date. So this date, attribute help you to create a, uh, able to select the date with year, month, and day. So this is the first box over here. Second is the enter date before. These are the setting you can do. Like max, is that it won't show beyond 1979 December month. So this thing, yeah, enter a date before 1980. That's what it mentioned. I will let me put a VR here. And now it looks a little better. Then mean, see, look at the mean, like I set a minimum. So it says that here, enter a date after, 2001, 2000, whatever, you specify. And if you want to see a date time both, then there's a date time hyphen local is there. And we can see those, it basically allows you to select today's was second, and then this is 3. Uh, Here also you can select. In fact, that calendar itself doesn't show, um, see here, see, don't go below, 2000, year 2000. So that's what the, setting we have done. And this with, uh, yeah, this is the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's very handy actually, and that is a revolution in the, HTML5. People have actually talked about a lot, and they were, in fact, I'm not sure whether you've done the HTML5 or directly started with the HTML5 or the older version. I had done coding in older version also. It was time consuming and, more pain actually. See, more pain in terms of, debugging also. I mean, if you want to see, allow the, do the faster coding, then it was a real challenge. More challenge was that, see, the design we can get it from all editor. Okay, there's a Notepad plus plus, then there are like, let's say front pages there, Adobe is there. There are many, inbuilt editors are there. We have also mentioned in our session when we started HTML. But the problem is that, like this, kind of for color you need to write specific code. Okay, for what is called as, for date time you need to write specific code. We need to write. So that was the, challenging part over there. Now the life has become fantastic. Now let's see a few more inputs like email. Okay, so it is used to input, and again, to writing a email field, was you have to write a JavaScript, and that validation was, horrible. Horrible means, you have to spend lots of time in writing an email validation. Okay, then we have input type equal to file. It will give the browse button to store the file details. Okay, this one. This is one. I'm gonna show you the code directly then. Then input type equal to month, it will allow you to select a month and so on. Let me just go and see that example. So we have email. I tried to basically take this example in one file to save the time. This is the demo. And let me also come and launch the code. We are here. Okay. So this is how it's gonna look like. This is our code. Yeah. So this is the email. So just say type equal to email. It will launch the email. Then select a file type. So just type equal to file. It will launch a browse button to select a file. And input type equal to month. It will launch the only month. Okay. And email, the beauty is that for this email is that, if you let's say type A, see it start. Sorry, I will write B. Let me, just put one button here. because I need to submit it. Input type equal to, you want to submit it, okay? So that's why we need submit button. Submit value. This attributes, okay. Please submit. I'll do a save. Okay, what's the problem here? I think giving space is not an issue. It's strange actually. Okay, so these are the things. So if I type, let's say T, okay, and we choose a file, anything, and what is this? Month and year, okay. So you can select this, whatever. So you trying to submit, it says that, please include @ in the email address. T is missing and at, okay. And trust me, to write this code, we have to spend at least an hour, to write this validation. And that was not directly, we have to write a JavaScript coding, okay. So if I write just, let's say, again, two things, it again gives an error because it needs in that email format, a@.com, something like that. Okay. If you write it takes a .com by default, but actually it's not allowing. Anyway, oh, sorry, you have to write this ABC. Yeah, then it takes that .com default. Let me just submit. Yeah, see, it works. Okay. So basically the format is this ABC@YY. Okay, then .com or whatever it is your actual email. Right. So interesting. Let's just go and see the. Then there's another revolutionary input element, which is number. Defines a numeric input field. So we can also set restriction, okay, like value from 1 to 5. So these attributes are of magical attributes basically. So if you want to define number type, just type input type of a number, name is that quantity, and mean and max attribute, okay. So start and maximum 5, okay. So this is the thing. This is the example. Okay. Then there's one more element called as range. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, this were the few attribute for putting a restriction actually. So we are using mean and max here. Okay. Specify maximum, specify maximum value. Mean means specify minimum value. Okay, that's how it is. Now there's a range also. So what range does? Let me show you that. Yeah, welcome. So range, I'm talking about this. So you can also define a range bar over there. So like mean 0, max 10. So I'll show you that example. Range. So it has telephone. Okay, this one number range. Let me show you that. Also open the source code. All right, so this is the source code we have. Yeah. So input type equal to number, name. So this is a min max, category we are setting here. So if you type beyond less than mean and greater than 5 is not allowed. Less than 1 and greater than 5 is not allowed. Then there is this thing called as country, name equal to points, mean 0, max 100, and step of 10. Okay, this one. So this also, these are the additional attributes basically, mean, max, and steps. That's what it comes here. Okay. So say it will increase in the step. So 0, 10, 20, and 30. And it won't go 40, 50. Sorry. Yeah. I think the maximum size is 100 there. Let me just check. Yeah, max is being put as 100. Okay. So if I put it as 200, save it. Let's go and see this. Yeah. So this is that it's possible. Now it won't go beyond 200. Okay. This is the another type. And the input type of range means mean, 0, max. It shows you the range, you can select it over here. For example, I can, do this. See, look at here. So let's say if I go and select this section, now which is selected, you can actually submit it and then see it over here. So when you submit it, see, the range was 0.7 here, this thing. Uh, so quantity and points 200. We did not select any quantity, is it? Think not, may not. Okay. So like here 1 to 5 means if you put anything beyond 5, say it won't take. And you submit. It is saying value must be less than or equal to 5. So these are the validation because of the attribute and more advanced programming being done. Okay. This quantity is selecting 2 and this is the range. You submit. Value must be okay. Sorry. We'll put let's say 4. Enter a valid. The two nearest valid between 0 and 10. Okay. So it's in a multiple of 10. I mean interval of 10. Submit. Yeah, now it shows quantity equal to 4. This one. Then we have points equal to 10. There is one more points equal to 5. I think we have given the same name at text. Yeah, this is the issue. This is a point, and maybe say that maybe we can do this with my range. Right. Can now you can get it. Yeah, quantity 3 in the URL. Then URL string points 30 and range is 5. Let's see what are the other attributes we have. So there is the next, so after range, we have search. It so it will allow you to like search like a Google. Okay, so you can search. It is used for searching a field. We have like a regular text field. Okay, that is one. You just type right as input type equal to search. So it's very fantastic thing has happened to the web development. Then we have telephone also. You can, but you need to specify the pattern. You can specify a pattern over there. Okay, like first 3 digits should be there. Then hyphen, then 2 digit, then hyphen, and then a 3 digit and like that. And there's a input type equal to time also. So you can just type input our time and get this. Let me watch the. Okay, this is the demo. Let us open that code also in case we want to do some. And always, I think if you want to learn it, always learn from a scratch. Okay, do not use any editor because then there won't be any learning. Okay, we used to enjoy coding in the yeah. So this is the thing. Input type of search, you'll get this search box over here. This thing, and this is the telephone. So in 3 way you need to type here. Okay. So first uh, numbers will be of maximum 3 digits, second of maximum 2 digits, and third of 3. Okay. And the fourth is time. It will just display the time. Input type equal to time. So like program I written here. Then telephone. See, it is you have to follow this pattern. So if you're writing, let's say this thing, and then you select a time. Now when you try to submit, say in fact, it won't allow you to submit also. So that kind of, facility is there. Please match the requested format, okay? Because this format is that, you have to first give three things, then hyphen, then 2 digit, then 3 digit, okay? I mean, you can make it as per the need, like here. So these are the regular expression. So if you want to say 3, it is 2. Or now this you want to make it 10. So you just write a 10 here and save it. Let's run this. This could be anything. So here it was what? 333 hyphen 22 hyphen C. Now it will allow you. Okay, it has to be mandatory 10. Okay, so what I mentioned here 0 to 9, 10. So 0 to 9 means what? The digit starting from 0, ending with 9. I mean, any digit from 0 to 9 or all. Okay, that's how. Okay, so like if you say 1 to 9, it won't allow then 0. Okay, so like I just put it here. Uh, okay, so this I'll just type it because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'll select a time and submit. Okay, so you need one more number because it's 10 over there. Yeah, now this is okay. That's how it gets submitted. Phone. And this is the time, we had passed it. This is phone. So this was the format we were using. So let us see what's next here. Okay. URL is again it will allow you to select the file here. Input type URL field automatically validated when submitted. Is used for input field that should contain a URL of the address. Okay. You need to provide the content in the form of URL. Okay. So some smartphone. So depending on the browser support, URL field can be automatically validated when submitted. So because why this has been written, because most of the browser has, basically hesitated to implement the HTML5, recommendation, like, the auto validation and so on. Because they have to implement those, within the browser. It is basically not the feature. It's where the browser support has to be, provided. Sometime the URL, type, it recognizes the URL type and adds .com to the keyboard to the matching URL input. That means it adds .com, by default. There's an input type equal to week also. You can get the week. So let me see if I have anything. What's the demo? Let me open this. So I did open a wrong file. Oh, this one, weekend URL. This is the example. Sorry about that. Yeah. So actually, this is an example. So if you're saying that, something like, www dot, let's say abc.com. Okay. And this is a week, you can select week number. So this is July, and if I can select that, see week 1 was there. Okay, and if you select uh, so May was starting week was 18th. Okay, now if you submit, gives an error because it needs a in exact URL format. Okay, so URL format is like this. You type first protocol. Okay, whatever it is. I'm saying HTTPS. colon slash slash. Okay. So this is the format of the URL. So it requires the exact URL format. Okay. HTTPS colon slash slash www.abcd.com. See, look at it. See, now it works. So you need exactly in this format basically. So such a fantastic, tool. And here, if you forget the equal to, one of the equal, then it won't work. So like for the time, you stopped it. We forgot to close it. And if I go and see, you can see that, it is, it was that a different code actually? No, this is some other code actually. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we'll move ahead and go and see the next thing. Okay, then there are, some advanced attributes in the HTML5. Uh, so like, this is the attribute like, autocomplete, uh, autofocus. So autocomplete means it it will complete the, if text are already entered, it will complete the other text. If you type in, let's say, ABC, AB, and it is ABC is already written earlier, it stores the data. The moment you type AB, it, append the C over there. Autofocus means the once the page is launched, the focus will be on the particular element. There's a form action is there, that, sorry, form tag is there, which form to go basically, which form action to take, So there are many things: list, min, max, multiple, pattern, placeholder, step. So I'll show you the, the example of the attribute. Let me open this. We can directly discuss the code there, and I'll also open the notepad. Yeah, look at the code. Okay, we have more example here, and have a look at it. So, so first name input our text, first name value John. So here actually, you can define the default value. So John. So John will come over here. Okay. So this is the code for the first, text box. Then we have next. So this is for the first text box here, friends. This one. The second code is input our text value John read only. Read only. So this is a read only actually. The second field, this one. That means here, you can't, modify this. Look at here. I'm trying to modify, but it is not happening. This because of the attribute called read only. The third text box here, it is disable actually. You look at this disable attribute. Okay. So this is the third. See, let's say in case, it is not supported in the browser, then there are thing we need to do. One thing, first thing is that if it is not supported on browser, then it will not work as per expectation. Okay. And second, if you want make to work with expectation, you get the right kind of browser, or then you, or otherwise we have to do the coding. Okay. So that is how the functionality, the attribute is there. So disable means you can't do anything. Even you can't type there, something. Read only means you can't change it. Okay. So disable means not, you cannot even select it. Okay. Then there is one more attribute called as, size. So input type equal to text, then value John, size equal to 200. 200 means this is the size of the text box, width of the text box, you can say. Okay. So like here, see right now, if I can show you, see, this is that long. Okay. It's showing a long text box. Okay. And I'm talking about the second last element, long text box. So let's say you go there and, I'll show you, and you make a size small. Let's say instead of 200, we type 220. Okay. And let's save it. See what has happened. You're getting it, friends? So size 20, that means it has actually reduced the size of the text box. That's what it is. And then we have one more call as max length. That's a length of the data you can put into a text box. So text box length. Okay. So here, let's say I type something. Okay. See, even it is not allowing me to go ahead. Okay, because I said max. Okay, the length. Okay, this one max length equal to 10. This one. If I submit it, it goes there. So these are the few attributes. So autofocus means focus will be automatically on that. So if I and you can't have a autofocus for more than one element. Let's say if we go there and say which one, let's say last element will have autofocus. Okay, what is the last thing here? Autofocus, and I'll save it. Let's go and refresh this. See, so your focus directly goes there. Okay, that way. And what if you have a two element having autofocus? Okay, let's just try it. Like, what's the thing? Okay, this one. We'll come to know that what is happening. So it gives a priority to the first element. You're getting it. So if by mistake, if we write, let's say if two element have the autofocus. So here input out as new name also has the autofocus. Here. And last name also, this high name also has the autofocus. Okay. But then priority goes to the first who has written the autofocus. Okay. It actually browse it from top to bottom. Okay. So if this we have already seen. So we have seen a read only. It won't allow to change it. We have disable means it not allowed to basically touch it also. Even the text box is disable. Then we have size. The text box size can grow. And then we have max length and autofocus. Okay. So maximum length, maximum number of character here. Max length means autofocus means it directly onto that particular control, the focus. So these are the attributes. I'll see if anything else. Form action, so we know it actually. So form action means this thing, form action where it will go from the input type, because so that we can specify. So basically, we have two different forms here. For this particular, for entire page, it is action page.php, but for this particular control, the form action is something else. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, so because I want different form action maybe for different types of button. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I already have action here. See, we also have submit, right? So we will take this. No, not this. So submit is already there, and we will type this. So save it. You need to put a BR because it will come with together. So here nothing is happening because file is not there. I mentioned a wrong file name, and if I can give any file name, date time underscore example underscore 2. Okay. So date time underscore example underscore 2 dot st html. Okay. So refresh. Yeah. So some file problem is there. That's okay actually. not relevant. So there are many other attributes are there. So there's a something called as form validated attributes. Form no validated. That means it won't validate the form. Okay. So the form attributes override the no validated attributes. Okay. Uh, so it is mentioned as submits without validation. So if you try this, for example, and select here Control V, save. So sorry, basically we are not doing it together, but basically there is no such validation here, so it is of no use. Like if you say the input type equal to email, then you can apply the validation. So instead of this text, we'll put an email. Okay, and then we are saying in the that's form no validate this particular attribute. Okay, so if you save it, run this. Okay, now let's see submit this. So it is not taking that the validation of a at the rate y.com. That particular email validation is not happening. Okay, so these are the things. Okay. So I think we have seen most of this. Yeah, almost I think all of them, all these attributes. Okay, email URL. So let me show that. Okay, so email URL number, range, color, date, time. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll just uh, yeah, we just close this here. So this was the end of this CS4. And let me also close, all this browser. Hold on just a second. Yeah. What I'll do, I'll go to this one, CS5, which is today's class. Okay. So CS5, we're gonna talk more on the cascading style sheet. Okay. And so and we'll see CSN applying style sheet to a HTML. Okay. So I have the same content. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you in the notepad because I can put a more code here. So everything is same. Only thing that I'm gonna refer a notepad. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna you know I'm just informing you well in advance. Okay, so does anybody knows why CSS is used? Anyone? Why CSS is used? Or first of all, what is CSS? So CSS is cascading style sheet. Okay. Cascading means it's cascade. Okay, so it basically searches the entire page and try to fit somewhere in the for some particular element or some section of the page. Okay, it's cascaded. It doesn't find one thing, it goes to another level, another level. That's it called cascading. And style sheet means you're applying some style. Okay, and you are in style. We are in style today. That means so we'll apply some kind of let's say formatting to it. For example, okay, when you say style means formatting. Okay, so cascading style sheet. Okay, so it is called as CSS. Uh, does anybody knows what's the purpose of CSS? If you are aware about it, anyone? CSS cascading style sheet. Okay, so the main purpose was to basically apply some represent the data in a better form. I mean apply good look and feel to your entire web page. That was the main reason actually. There are other reasons also. We'll see them one by one. So what I'll do, I'll close this file and move to a, okay. So what is CSS first of all? CSS stands for cascading style sheet. Okay. CSS describe how HTML element are to be displayed on the screen, paper, or in the other media. Okay. So how it's gonna look like? Okay, those HTML element maybe on the mobile, maybe on the desktop, or on the laptop, or maybe on the or the smartwatch. So how element gonna be displayed? So it takes care of a look and feel of the element. Okay, there. And CSS lots of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. In fact, yeah, you create one, look and feel for once. The same can be applied to a multiple, web pages. That is also possible. Okay, instead of coding on every page. Okay, that's one thing. Uh, and there are external style sheets. They are stored in CSS file. I will come to this later on. Okay. Now, why to use CSS? So CSS used to define style for your web pages, including design, layout, variation in display for different device and screen size. Okay. So as per the need, those look and feel, or the design can be changed. Okay. Okay. So if one design is there that is fitting for a laptop screen, okay, then there's other design who can be fit for, let's say, mobile device. Then, so that all, you know, decision can be taken using a CSS. Okay, that is what it is. And which big problem it has solved. So I'll show you, something here. So HTML was, never intended to contain tag for a formatting of web page. So they have only element. They'll perform some kind of task, but the formatting they cannot do it basically. Okay. So uh, they'll represent the information like header will represent header information. You can actually you can do a markup like paragraph. So it's a paragraph. It's a header. Okay. This is input type of element. So that kind of information, but those look and feel you can't apply, or some pattern you can't apply for a good view of the element. Okay. So HTML was created to describe content of a web page, like this is a heading, this is paragraph. That's what I talk about. So when tags like font and color had to be added to HTML 3.2 specification, it started a nightmare for a web developer. So development of a large website where fonts and color information are added to every single page become a long and expensive process. Okay. So to solve this problem, World Wide Web has created a CSS. CSS removes style formatting from the HTML page. Okay. So they are saying that earlier to take care of font and color, and the problem was with that was that you can't use the font and color of one page and you can apply to all other. You can do that, but you have to write a more JavaScript coding for that. Okay. So you do do the programming for that. Okay. So, and this was solved with simple cascading style sheet concept. Okay. So this was one of the major let's say breakthrough when using a CSS. Okay. uh, this is a CSS syntax. We'll learn it and we'll do more demo. So CSS syntax will have these three things. One is called as selector. So what is selector? Selector means on which element you want to apply. Okay. So that you need to write. It is easy actually. Let us do the uh, you know or what we will do, we can do demo together from next time. Okay. So it has syntax like this way, the selector, declaration, and the declaration. And let's see what it is. So selector basically it points to HTML element you want to style. I mean, you want to format it, you want to increase the look and feel, make it more fantastic. That was the role of CSS. Okay. Uh, and CSS, the beauty is that that look and feel, you don't need to go to every page. Okay, what you can do that you can just do in one file. You can upload, and those file can be referred to most of the pages. Okay, so selector means these it points to the HTML element you want to style. The declaration block contain one or more declarations separated by a semicolon. Okay, so like here, so these are the basically a attribute you can say. Okay, so I want for H1, I want to make color is blue, font size is this 12 pixel, and so it is like you to give a, in the declaration you to give a at property name and the value, property colon value. So name value pair for a property, look at here, font size, property, and pixel 12. Okay, so each declaration like here has the CSS property name and value separated by a colon. So this thing, name, property, colon, value, like blue. Okay, name is font, property name is font size, and 12 pixel is the value. Okay, so what this is a great thing, multiple CSS declaration are separated by semicolon, and declaration blocks are surrounded by curly braces. Okay, so you're using color, font, maybe there is a background is there, so if background is there, then you can say color colon blue, semicolon, font size colon 12 pixels, semicolon, then background, let's say hyphen color, colon, you can say blue or what. So semicolon, we can use more attribute with help of the semicolon. Okay, so that's what it is. So I'll show you one example here, and let's see what is happening in the example. You get the little idea about it. uh, so CSS example, I mean, this is just a little syntax. Okay, uh, I'm going to do it in more depth, and let me first close this. uh, I'll open in a notepad. Okay, let's just, so this is, here we go, friends. Yeah, so this is the code. Okay, now this doc type can be removed because it follows HTML5. Okay, so now where do you write a style? So there are various way to write a style, and we'll see that syntax slowly. Okay, so mostly it is there are three ways. One of the ways that you can write inside a head. Okay, so when I'm writing inside a head, then you have to use a style tag and close the style tag. In between, you can do create a look and feel. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Actually, this is a internal style sheet. Okay, so there are three: external, inline, and internal. Okay, this is the internal. Now you are defining, whenever you define within a head tag, and you define style within your same page using a style. Okay, so it's a internal. So I said that we are saying that for paragraph, so P is the element, open the braces, close the braces. In between, you can specify the look and feel for the particular section. So I'm saying for paragraph, we are saying take a color as a property and make it as red. And let's say you want to apply one more styles to a paragraph. So there's one more attribute or property called text hyphen align. We are saying center. Okay, there are many things. Okay, many such properties are there. Okay, more than 100 properties are there. Okay, then we have to close the style. Now what we are doing now, what will happen that wherever in this body section, if you see a paragraph, okay, what it will do, it will apply this style. What is style? It will make color red, and it will do a center alignment. See, that is what is happening in the in this output also, friends. Look at here. So the font color is red. Okay, and it is center aligned. So if we do the changes, let's say it is left, and we'll save it. So it is left aligned now. Okay, and likewise, so how do you differentiate between, and there are things you need to take care, like if you want to differentiate between one property and the other. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. So you different, then you use a semicolon here. See, this is a syntax I was trying to show this way. So declaration. So property value pair. Okay, this way. This is a braces. This is opening braces, closing braces. In between, what are the property we are specifying that. So let's go here and see this. You need to take care of few things. For example, this red, uh, what is called as, like you have to separate two property with the semicolon. Okay, So what happen if I let's just save it and don't do a semicolon to start the new property? Okay, so see, it doesn't work. Getting it? So it won't give the error, but it won't work also. See, now it is not working because there's some mistake over here. Later on we'll see how to avoid this mistake also. Uh, who's this? These are the challenges when you allow the mic. Okay, he's the guy. Sorry about that, friends. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is one thing you need to take care. Second is, property is color. I'll share the link where you can see all the property. You have to use colon here. Okay, uh, so semicolon you are done. They used to separate two property, but color, you have remove the, let's say, colon. So if you save it, again, this also won't work. Uh, let's just give a try. See. So few mistake, you need to take care. So we have to use a colon here. Now if you specify everything, that is working. Again, one thing is that it ends with a semicolon. So if you let's say forget that, okay, what will happen? Again, it won't work. So I think I did not say. This is something strange now. It should not work actually, but uh, no, no, no idea actually. Something strange. It is still taking. It should not work 100%, but it's still taking. So I'm saving it. Okay, so I think closing it takes by default. So okay, that's the challenge. Opening you to provide. It's some strange. I'm checking closing first time actually by default. Okay. Anyway, let's just move further. So this is the code. Okay, then there are various selectors. Okay, like how would you select the elements on the entire page and apply your look and feel? So for that we have selectors in CSS and selector of this type: simple selector, combinator selector, pseudo class selector, pseudo element selector, okay, attribute selector, okay, and so on. There are many. We'll do so basically what selector that pays to find or select the HTML element you want to style. Okay. So like in our case over here, we said that find this is the element selector, find all the paragraph and apply this style like make color red and align them to left text align. Okay. This what. So we'll see those selectors. So first we have element selector. This example we have already done. So element selector means you are defining style for an element. So when wherever it is found on the page, then it will do the alignment. So this was done actually. This is already done. Okay, element selector. This is the example. Okay, so this is done. Now let's see. Then we have CSS ID selector. Okay, so we are looking at this particular selector. So the role of selector is that like which are the element needs to be applied those styles. Okay, it will identify that. So element selector we have done. You define for any element, then wherever that element is found, it will apply the style. Okay. So like for paragraph, it will apply all this styles here. Okay, that is one. Then we have ID selector. What is ID selector? So the ID selector uses the ID attribute of HTML element to select a specific element. So you can also give a ID element to a ID attribute to HTML element to identify them on the web page. Okay. So let's say you create 10 text boxes. Now how would you identify that and you want to reach to a first text box or select first text box for doing some purpose. Okay. So how do you do that? Either you can give name or ID. Okay. Both works in the same way. Either you can have a name attribute or an ID attribute. Okay. So what the ID of an element is unique. Okay, so the ID selector uses ID attribute of HTML element to select a specific element. Okay, the ID element of ID element is unique within a web page, so that ID selector used to select one unique element. So you can't have a multiple IDs. If you have multiple IDs, then there is some meaning to it. Okay, for a same element. So to select an element with a specific ID, like your checkbox and radio button have the same ID. Okay, because they need to do in a grouping. Okay. So to select an ID with a specific ID, we with a hash character followed by the ID of the element. Okay, so this way. Uh, so this is the page code. Okay. So in style, I'm writing hash para one. This can be written. So you have to start with the hash, then para one. Specify your style. Close it. Okay. Again, in the style tag inside the style element only. What is this? This is the ID selector. Okay. Let me open the this page. I'll open this. This is the example, and I'll open the its code also. The notepad is little in a bigger font. This is okay. So how do you define an ID? You to in the style tag, you to start the hash and then give the ID name. This can be any user-defined name. Then open the braces, close the braces, and apply the styles. Okay. Select the property like text align center, column center. Okay. Text align column center. Then color column red. Okay. So name is property name is text align, value is center. Property name is color, value is red. You close the style, close the head. Then what will happen? So we say that P, I'm saying ID is equal to para one. Okay. So what this para one will do, it will identify. So we are saying that here in style we mention that wherever the ID is assigned as para one, you apply this style like text align center and color red to that particular paragraph, that particular ID. It could be anything basically. Okay. So if you see that we have two paragraph over here who one's ID is para one and other do not have a ID. Okay. So what will happen that it will see. So what it is doing? The first hello world is coming in red and center because the para one ID is match. Okay, this one and this, but there is no ID in the second. So like I'll show you one more and let us just create one more paragraph here this way, and we will put a thing. Okay, and I'll save. So what will happen because of this? Any idea, anyone? What will be the output? Can you tell me, friends? So what would be the output of this? Anyone? Quickly, friends. So if we run this, what would be the output there? Anyone? What would be the output? Anyone? Any try? Can you try it? What would be the any guesses? What would be the output of this code? Friends, come on, share your thought. Friends, what would be the output of this? Any thought here? Uh, do I have any input? Hello, am I audible, friends? What would be the output of this code? Any thought from anyone? if you run this code, what would be the output? Akib, you want to share your view? Akib, Akib, or Mrityunjay, Dharnish. Any thought, anyone? What would be the output of this code? I am sharing it over chat. Any thought, anyone? Hello, Praveen. Any idea? What would be the output of this code? Okay, so let's see this. So only paragraph, first and three are, the styles are applied. So because the reason is very simple, because their ID is matching. Okay, so this is syntax for creating ID hash para1. So wherever it will find a ID as para1, so hash will recognize the ID. Okay, so wherever it will recognize the ID as para1, so it is found in first paragraph and third. Okay, so that's where it will apply this styles. So this is one. This is called as ID selector. Then we have class selectors. What is a class selector? So the class selector HTML elements with a specific class attribute. I'll show you the demo. To select element with a specific class, write a period dot character followed by the class name. Okay, put a dot character over there. I mean, you can define a multiple, what is called style for your one single element. Okay, with help of the class. So I'll show you that. Uh, Let me, this is a class selector. I'll open it. Class selectors, where it is. So here. Let us open the notepad. Okay, so this is the code. Uh, this is okay. So some changes here. I'll open that. Okay, first let's have a class selector. This is the code. I'll open it notepad. Sorry, here, and then also open with notepad. Uh, See, for example, ID selector. Yeah. So that is how it is. I'll show you. So I said, let's say this thing. Look at the code. So in the style tag, this is we have defined dot center. So class you to give with the dot symbol. Okay, dot center. So this center is basically it can be any name. Okay, for example, you can have name as center one. It is not the center property actually. Okay, see center one and center. It's a user. I'm saying text align equal to center and color equal to red. So wherever you now to if you're defining style with dot, then you need to use class. I mean, these are the various. If you define with hash, then use ID to identify that. If you're defining with dot, then use class. Okay, so these are various things are there. Okay, So wherever, if you say that class equal to center one and class equal to center one, it will go to a center one and apply this particular style to both this element. Okay. So let me save this and you can rerun. See, this is a class selector. Okay. So you created one style and you want to apply it, whoever gonna refer center one, like the ID only. Okay. So yeah, but for ID, for hash, we were using ID to refer it. And for dot, we have to use class to refer it. Okay. So this thing. Now, there's one more, example I'll show you. Like this is for specify HTML should be operated by a class. So, this word is okay. You can also do the element specific. Okay, like I said, p dot center. Okay, so okay, let me just open that example. Uh, yeah, here. So it says that you're saying, okay, define a class property, but for a paragraph only, dot center. Okay. So now you can see this code when you try to run this. This is what example 5 and this is example 5. So how it look like? See, look at here. So you said define a class property. So you are saying this is element specific, okay, p dot center. So for paragraph, if center class is chosen, then only paragraph will be equal to apply. See, look at it. H1 also has a center, but it won't be affected because you are saying p dot center. That means apply the center style to a only paragraph element. Okay. See it very carefully, friends. I mean, okay, so that is how it works here. So let us run this and you can see, okay, see this is output. Okay. I'll show you, okay, the next example, which is very good. So HTML element can also refer to more than one class. Okay. I mean, the same element can refer to more than one class, like here. So for example, it's now H1 referring to only class called center. It may also refer to many such classes if it has created. Okay. I will show you the demo. For example, fifth multiple selector. Let me open the what is called as notepad. Okay, now look at this code carefully. So I'm creating a two class style for a paragraph. One is p dot center one, other is p dot large one. Okay, fine. And like I told you, it is a user defined name. Okay, center one and large one. So two style created. In center one, it is text align center color red. In large one, font size is 300 pixel. Okay. Now, if you see the further down, I mean where it is applied. So here, so I said, so this H1, okay, it won't affect here. Okay, so it founds the element called P paragraph. Then you said center one. So for this say first paragraph, we are applying only center one, this style. But for the second paragraph, you see how to apply multiple styles for a same element. See how it is written. Class equal to center one space large one. Okay, if it is there. So if you create a multiple styles, then this is a way to specify in the particular element. So class equal to center one space large one. Okay. So let me just save and show it to you. Yes, yes, is multiple. So this is the code actually, and have a look at it. So this way. So first paragraph is center one. Okay, so center one is what? Takes align center, color red. So let me just check. Yeah, this was the text. This paragraph will be red and center line. So yeah, this paragraph will be red and center line. This is the thing. Yeah, it's matching here. Then third, what we have done, the last paragraph we said center one also and large one also. This way. So if you see here, it is getting applied. Okay. See, it's red, center line, and large. Okay, so you can apply, various thing over there. Okay, so not only font and text. Uh, so only with that, so it's a basically multiple styles to a same element, like center one and large. In this first paragraph, only one style is applied, one which is center one. Okay, so center one, and so this is the what this is with the you know more than one class. One HTML element can refer more than one class. So paragraph is there, but this paragraph is referring to a center one and large one. So this is the one example. Then universal selector. What is universal selector? The universal selector selects all HTML element on the web page. Okay, and this is the way to write. So I will open that page. Uh, so it's very easy. You to just do hands-on. So I request from the next time you can also start doing with me. Let me open the notepad. Yeah, this is the code. Uh, Here we go. Yeah. So that is how it is working. So I said star and then text align center color blue. And it's not mentioned for any specific element. It's for all. Okay. So whichever elements are there in the body tag, it will applies to all. So we said what? Text align, text hyphen align column center color equal to color column blue. Okay. So you can see, I have all the element. Okay, like, so we have hello H1 tag is there, then three paragraph tag. Okay. But since you mentioned star, text align center and color blue, so it applies to paragraph. Okay. So star means apply to all the elements. So it's a fantastic features. Okay. Then there's something called as grouping selector. Okay. So what is a grouping selector? Let's say you want to apply same style to multiple elements. Okay. So instead of writing there are different styles, you can group them and write a style. So I'll show you this. Look at this code here. Okay. So I am trying to say that for H1 use text align and red, for S2 text align and color red, and for paragraph text align center and color red. Okay. So you're writing this three different style inside a style tag three times. Okay. I mean, writing it differently. H1 then open braces, close braces, define property and give the value. S2 again open braces, close braces, define property and give value, and again P. Okay. So what we can do that we can merge them together. Okay, like this way. Okay, so this is a group selector, and let me open this in a notepad. So look at here, and let me go to the code. Okay. Okay, so see how we are doing it, and over here. So this is the output. So output is running fantastic. Look at the code here. I said H1 comma H2 comma P. So since we want to apply text align center and color rate to this three element. So why to write three different style in different way differently. So you can use element comma this center. So H1 comma H2 comma P text align center and color rate this thing. So wherever it will find H1 H2 or P, it will do this particular apply this styles. Okay, and so the challenge was this one which I was talking about. So earlier it was written this way H1 H2. So you're writing three times basically this thing. So since if it is everything is same, so better that write separate them with the comma. Okay, so that is what being done here. H1 comma H2 comma P. Okay, so it will work fine. So this was your multiple selector. Then the very important part that how to add CSS. Okay, so when browser reads style sheet, it will format the HTML document according to the information style sheet. So three way to insert SSS: external CSS, internal, and inline. Okay. So internal means what? Till now we were doing only internal. That means we are writing under the style, under the head tag, we are including style like this one. So this was internal. Okay. So this is internal, so three ways you can use, write the CSS styles. One is internal. So this is internal, inside head, there's a style tag. Under style tag you're writing. That is internal style sheet. Then we have external means that you write a style sheet in one different file, which is called .css. You write your styles. Then you refer into the any HTML. That is called external style sheet. Okay. Uh, Inline means what? In the inlines are you applying at their moment only. I'll show you that. We had already seen that demo. In the first demo was what? No, second demo. Okay. So, okay, let us first do an external style sheet. Okay. So I'll show you this external style sheet. Okay. So, yeah. So external style sheet. Let me open it first in a notepad. Okay. So this is the code, and I'll also open a style sheet file. Open with notepad. So this is how we are doing. I can show you the code. Let me first close all other window. Okay, look at it. How it. So what is the external style sheet? That you define a style sheet inside a file called .css. So this is styles. So I created one file called mystyle.css. Look at here, this file. I mentioned that body background color light blue, and this is the style for body tag or element. Then for H1 I said color colon navy semicolon and margin icon left and pixel. Okay. So this is my style, and there should not be any HTML element in the CSS file, because not HTML element means you can't have a HTML body. That's what I'm saying. You can't include HTML header body because you are embedding this file inside another HTML. Okay, the CSS file. So it will be a syntax error if you include HTML and so on over there. The body tag, especially, I mean, it should not be in a HTML format. Basically, you just use an element, define a style, and leave it. So only tag should be there, element and their style. Okay. I'm saying that you can't have a HTML header, then you have body tag inside this. Don't write the entire HTML format here. Okay. Now we have defined the style for a body and H1 tag inside my style file. I save it as a .css file. Okay. Then we have one file called this thing. Now, how we can refer this file styles of this particular CSS file across multiple pages using this way? You have to use a link, tag. Then there's a RAL, means it is a style sheet. You have to mention that it's a style sheet. Okay. Relation means how it is related. It's related with the style sheet. That's what REL. Then href means that file path. Okay. So link, I'm trying to link a file. What I'm trying to link. What is the relation you're trying to link? It's a style sheet. Okay. Then href means this is the URL of the file .css. Okay. So we need to close this inside a head section. That's it. Okay. Then whenever you run this code, what it will go, browser will pick up this file, and wherever it will find body and h1, it will apply to this tag. Okay. So this is an external style sheet. Let us go and open this example 9. What is that? Uh, External, can you find that? External. Universal multiple style sheet. Inline. Yeah, this one. External style sheet. Okay. I'll go and open it. Yeah, look at this. Okay. And this is what we're doing. All right. So now let's say you want to do some changes. Okay. Instead of light blue, you want to make it something else. So you don't need to basically touch the HTML file. Okay. You just save it over here. It will be automatically done. So for example, I will just say instead of light blue, I'll say that let's say green. Okay. Green, and we'll save it here. Okay. And then obviously you need to run it. See, look at here. So the benefit of external styles is that you don't need to do the changes in multiple files. Just do it in the style sheet file, and whoever are referring your file, whichever pages, they will be able to apply this. Okay. Though this is the external. Internal means external means you're writing creating a .css file. In that file, you are defining all the style for the elements. Then you are referring on the n number of pages. Okay, that is external. Internal means we are writing a style inside a style section, inside a header section. Okay, so that is the internal. Okay, fine. Then there's an inline also. Okay, so let us first close this. Uh, so internal we have already seen. Inline means what? At the time of tag only you are writing. So this is the inline. Uh, inline. This one. Inline, I'll show you. Let me close this first. Inline, yeah. Let me open this. Here we go. No, this is internal. I need an inline. Yeah, this one. Okay, so have a look at it. So you have to use this way, style. You have to use style attribute. Then color, double quotes. Till it is not closed. Then color colon blue, text align colon center. Okay. This is inline style sheet. Within a tag, you use an attribute and then you define it. Okay. So inline, that within a tag or element. Internal means in the header section, you create a style and then you define. External means in the another file. Okay. So what we'll do, okay, you want to run this. Let us, I think it's already run it. Sorry. what is that? Inline. See this one. So it changed, the okay. Yeah. So what is the code here? This one. Yeah, color equal to red. Fine. Okay. So we'll just stop here, everyone. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Let's meet next time and complete CSS. Then we'll start with the JavaScript. Okay. Can you confirm if quiz are accessible? Anyone? Let me close it. Are we able to access the quiz, everyone? Please confirm. I'll stop sharing. Uh, are we able to access the quiz? Okay, thanks, Sujit. I appreciate. Okay, please complete the quiz, everyone, and thank you so much.